Man, get your tickets for the Halving Party event. Come watch me hit some 3-pointers on Sean Harris on the courts. It's at an all-inclusive resort. But like what is it, 3 nights there? 3 nights?
Yeah, it is 3 days, 3 nights, April 3rd through the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell people we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff on the night of the 5th, so check out the 6th, But yeah, it'll be a 3 days, 3 night event.
Well, that's kind of what I wanted to ask is, is there going to be like activities the first few days, or kind of just chill, and then the last day kind of kick it up a notch, or what's sort of how you envisioning this?
So we wanted to make it more like kind of like a lobbycon feel is the term that people use, right? Which is you go to a conference and you go because you got Preston Pish speaking and you want to hear him speak in person, and then you end up not even making it outside the lobby because you're talking with people you just met and you're having a great conversation, and then you watch his talk on YouTube a couple days later anyway. And so we wanted to make it more like that, where you can have, like, if you're coming to learn about Bitcoin, you will learn about Bitcoin and you'll learn how to self custody your Bitcoin and you learn about the halving. And if you're bringing your girlfriend down, if you're bringing your boyfriend down, if you're a girl watching, you can learn. We're going to have some game, maybe a different game or two that is focused on learning about Bitcoin. We're going to have games that aren't focused about Bitcoin at all, that are just fun. We're going to do some fun things down there. We're going to have things that are geared towards Central America and El Salvador specifically, cultural nights and learning how to dance different salsas or bachatas, and learning fun things and doing fun things, having walks on the beach, yoga. It's going to be a slow paced event. It's not going to be like Bitcoin in Miami or wherever, where you got 3 different stages and you got all these things going on. No, we're going to have one thing going on at one time, and you can go enjoy that one thing, or you can go by the pool and have a drink, or go to the beach, have a drink or get food. There's going to be unlimited food, unlimited drinks. So it's just going to be a very slow pace. Get to know your fellow Bitcoiners. Reach out to the people who are there. Talk to, try to build a business, try to build something on top of it, get connected, network with people, because that's what we're building on top of. There is a social layer on top of Bitcoin. And in my opinion, I think it's if you think about how Bitcoin propagates itself, it's through this social layer that we have of being able to talk with each other and being able to, talk about ideas and what Bitcoin really is, and the idea and the ethos of Bitcoin. And to me, as I've gone to a lot of different conferences, to me, it's obvious that the idea of Bitcoin is an idea that's rolling forward and cannot be stopped. It's all over the world. I've met people from all over the world, and we have people from all over the world coming to the Halving Party in El Salvador. And so I'm really excited for it, and it's just going to be a fun event to enjoy, and you can enjoy it at your own pace. You can go to every single talk, every single workshop, every single panel if you want. But then at nighttime, it's going to be more party like. There's going to be, we're going to have a poker night on the second night with Tone Bays. We're going to have possibly like a dating game or like a newlywed game of fun things to get people going, possibly a roast of Greg Sag. We'll see if we get that done right. Maybe an awards night, and the awards night will be a fun awards night. And so all these things, they're just fun things to get Bitcoiners together, to have people come see El Salvador and what it's like, and to continue to celebrate the halving, because it will be celebrated, and so we wanted to be the first ones to celebrate it. And we are the first ones to really celebrate it at this level. And it's not going to be our only halving party. There's going to be plenty of them. As long as I live, we're going to continue to do these halving parties, and I think they're important, and not because of me, but because it's actually, what other event do we have out there that's focused on something that's native to Bitcoin? And this is something that we're celebrating that's native to Bitcoin, which is the halving.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there's only really one thing to celebrate in Bitcoin in terms of anniversaries, really, and then
Yeah,
that's the halving, right? It's
yeah,
such an impact on the market. With leading up to the bull run usually starts, 6 to 10 months after the halving historically.
yeah,
So it's definitely the thing to celebrate. And I think honestly, I think I was doing the exact same thing as you last halving. I was watching Anthony Pompano or something like that.
yeah.
Do you still follow Pomp?
I think I do follow him on Twitter, but I don't ever see his tweets anymore for some reason. And no, I don't really listen to his stuff. He was, he was really great for me in 2019 or so, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
He really helped explain. He was really focused on Bitcoin only stuff, and a lot of his content was great. Um, and then he kind of started going to, it just doesn't make as much sense for me. All the altcoins, and he doesn't. He says he personally doesn't own anything besides Bitcoin. Any other cryptocurrency besides Bitcoin. But I imagine he's invested in a lot of those other ones, and so I think that's why he was
Mm-hmm.
giving his platform up to a lot of those people, which
Mm-hmm.
that's his decision. And I believe in fair and open markets,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. But I just don't follow him as much anymore because to me, there's a lot of other people who are focused on a more dedicated mission of sound money, of this money that's good for the whole world, that will change the world and not just change my life. And Bitcoin wasn't created to make me rich. It wasn't created to make Satoshi rich. It wasn't created to make any of us rich. It was to give us a peer-to-peer money um, that was free of third-party risk and that was free of inflation. So it can't be controlled by any other means, and it's truly free money and it's freedom money. And so I think that's why I don't really follow Pomp as much. I think he still does a decent job of he goes on CNBC, but there's a lot of other guys out there that I listen to now.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. What got me about Pomp, like again, I still get his emails and listen to him here and there, and he's very eloquent when he's on primetime TV. But
Yeah.
the thing that got me was the BlockFi and how much he pumped the BlockFi mission there, and then
Yes.
only
Yeah.
to go bankrupt. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man, like I don't know, that was a tough go, I thought, but still think he's all a net positive for Bitcoin, but
Yeah. Yeah. There's
uh,
there's there's gonna we'll see more of that. We'll see more of people saying, "Hey, look, Mount Gox was in 2013. Now it's That's how they get you, right? That's how they got most of us in BlockFi. Was hey, you know, we're now in 2020. It's 2021. This is the age of institutional Bitcoin, and we weren't created for Mount, what is Mount Gox was like. Magic the Gathering was what it was originally created for, like MTG, and so they would get you with that stuff. Oh, now we're institutional, and we have all this institutionally backed money, but they play the same games, and they don't have the backing of the Fed. And we don't have the backing of the Fed, and you play the same games that everyone else is playing, then you go bust, and that's what you see happen with FTX and all these guys. And so, you might as well just hold your money in a bank if you're going to hold it on a BlockFi or an FTX, because at least you have FDIC insurance, which you don't have at these other crypto exchanges.
Yeah, yeah, totally agree. Self custody is, a big part of why Bitcoin, right? So,
Yeah.
so just asking you about, current state of Bitcoin. The price is approximately 43,000 US dollars, and again, we're about 10 weeks approximate to the halving. What's the current state of Bitcoin? Given that we've had the recent ETF approvals, and where did you think the price was going to go? Has your mind changed at all in regards to that?
I think Bitcoin will probably be around this price for the halving, right? Somewhere between
Hmm.
40 and 50,000, which is what I kind of expected. Um, Honestly, I have no clue where it'll head, how high it'll go.
If
But I
I
think
can, yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, when I was in El Salvador, the people that I was talking to were like hyper bullish, like I was like blown out of the water a little bit of how bullish a lot of
Yeah.
these Bitcoin
How
guys
was
are.
how was El Salvador for you, by the way?
Oh, it was awesome, man. I was there for 8 days and spent most of it at Bitcoin Beach, but we
Yeah.
partied in El Tunco one night. Spent
Yeah, Surf
2
City.
nights. Yeah, yeah. I tried surfing for the first time. My ribs were all bruised up, and my neck was sore, and my
Yeah.
stuff got soaked. Like it was a time. It was a
Yes.
time. But
I
I
lost.
did get
I
up.
tried surfing and I lost a shirt out there in the ocean.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Came
Yeah,
off
it's
me in the
sticky.
wave and I looked for it. I couldn't find it. It was gone.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Was it a
Yeah.
Bitcoin shirt?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was a
Good.
basketball shirt. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, but any other than that though, Bitcoin Beach is beautiful. I was a little skeptical, like from the pictures, it looks nice, but it doesn't have like that white sand beach you can
yeah.
always envision. But when I
Yeah.
got there, I'm like, this is way better because the water's way warmer here,
Yeah.
and it's got great waves, which just makes it more fun. So
Yeah.
I was super impressed. Beautiful sunsets down at Bitcoin Beach.
Ooh, the
Uh,
sunsets, yeah, are
yeah,
amazing.
I did Santa Ana volcano hike, another
You go with
waterfall
a, did
hike.
you go with a guide?
Yes, yes, I think
Uh-huh.
you have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we stayed at the Beach Breakers Hotel, which is like it's like I don't know if you know that hotel, but the owners there, you know, accept Lightning, and they're very great house. It's just like a 12-room hotel, but they got
Yeah.
a really great restaurant there, and they got
Mhm.
like huge, probably the most advertised like Bitcoin symbols outside of there. So they
Yeah.
just like it just drew me in. Like me and my buddy were walking around, we just saw all these Bitcoin stuff. We're like, oh, we got to go in here, right? So, and then we just
Yeah.
kind of made friends with them, and then like same thing happened, right?
Yeah.
Other people see that signage, and then they walk in, and then we met some really great Bitcoiners just hanging out at the restaurant there. So yeah, it was an awesome time, man. I was almost contemplating like I'm not going back. Like sell
Yeah.
something and just stay here, ride it out, pray the halving goes well, and the next bull run goes really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I fucking love El Salvador a lot, and completely safe. Used Bitcoin everywhere I could.
Dude, it's
Lightning.
it's amazing, man. When people haven't been there, they like most people are skeptics. They get down there, and then it's just first of all, it's just beautiful. The country's green, and the waves are peaceful. The sunsets, like what you're saying, and you can use Bitcoin in some places, you can't in others. But most people when they go down there, they're like they got the itch to come back or to
Mm-hmm.
move out there even, and so
Yeah.
it's wild how awesome it is. So that's what I
Yeah.
wanted to bring. I want people to come down to El Salvador and experience that
Mm-hmm.
magic themselves.
Yeah. Certainly magical. Do you still shoot hoops or what?
Yeah, yeah. I still play basketball from time to time. So,
Yeah.
uh, not as much as I would like to, but
Okay. Well,
got a lot.
maybe we can find a court down there, have a little 3-ball competition or something like that.
They do. The hotel has a basketball court on it, so maybe we'll get a game in.
Yeah, man. How tall are you?
I'm 6'7".
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
I'm
What
like
about you?
6 foot. I'm 6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're
yeah.
five. So you're 5'10".
So I'm 5'10". Yeah, yeah, yeah. Always listed a couple inches
Yeah.
higher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm looking to yeah, come back down there. There's a whole lot of stuff apparently going on, you know, after the event too. So really
Yeah.
looking forward to get down there. Um so just to kind of go off topic a little bit, what else do you like to do on your free time when you're not all in on Bitcoin or shooting hoops?
To I kind of like to just I like to have a good time. That's more. It doesn't really matter what I'm doing as long as I'm doing with good people. So I'm actually very competitive still. So really, any games I like games, board games, card games, any type of game that's fun for me is like we could be playing any game and I'll have fun. So I like to
Cool.
do that. That kind of helps get those competitive juices out.
Are
And
you do gamble?
I do go once in a while to the casinos, which I probably shouldn't. But I have one game that I play. It's called Pai Gow, and it's a very slow game. It's just like a two-handed poker game. And that's probably I don't go to the casino. I don't play like roulette or anything. I just go there and I'll play Pai Gow once every couple months. It's just a fun game for me to just kind of zombie out. But
Yeah.
although if if I'm with a bunch of buddies, sometimes I will play craps. Craps is the most electric game at the casino. if everyone's rolling good. But no,
Yeah.
other than that, I'm not really, and if I bring something to the casino, it's gonna be like a couple $100. I'm not.
Yeah.
There's some people that come with thousands and thousands of dollars, and I'm like, if I lose more than $200 tonight, it's like you just have to bring your money, and if you lose it, you lose it, and that's it.
Hmm. Yeah, a couple $100 is one thing, but when you start talking about the thousands, man, that's some, good amount of satoshis you could be stacking
Yeah,
instead. So
yeah,
that's
exactly.
exactly that's my mindset when it comes
Yes,
to it.
too many sats. So I look at it as like entertainment, right? Hey, if I were to go to a nice show, it's been maybe a couple $100 on it. If I'm
Hmm.
down in Vegas, so maybe we'll go out and that's what we'll do. But I try not to go gambling as much as possible because it's just you just lose. You just
Yeah,
lose your money when you could be stacking sats.
yeah. The
So
odds are certainly against you. Would you have
yeah,
a?
and they tell you the odds are against you.
Mhm.
And that's why I tell people, at least with the altcoin casino that people try to play, at least I would rather just go to the casino. Like at least I'm having a fun time. There's an atmosphere. There's people walking around. They can give you drinks if you want. If you're like staring at your computer all day long, it's like not worth it.
I was gonna ask you if you have any favorite podcasts, books, resources, or just in Bitcoin.
Yeah. Guy Swan's Bitcoin Audible. It's my favorite podcast. I've learned the most probably from his podcast out of anybody. I really enjoy everything that he does, and he just has been in Bitcoin for so long, and he's very eloquent. He's read so many articles, and that's what he does on his podcast. Is Bitcoin Audible. He reads podcast, he reads articles, and then he elaborates and gives his take on them, which is really nice. Especially if you're trying to learn. If you're looking for like definitely like macro stuff, Preston Pish, I've learned so much from his podcast, the Investors Podcast. They do the Bitcoin episode once a week, and that one's really good for me. Books, I would say, other than the Bitcoin Standard, which is everybody's, Nick Batia's Layered Money was really good for me. That explained a lot. It was really good. Just any Bitcoin book out there. There's a ton of them. Gigi's uh, 21 Lessons. That's a really good. It's a short book, easy read, and very powerful. So those are probably some of the guys that I listen to, that I pay attention to, that really got their head on straight. Guys like Preston Pish, he's has a very successful investing podcast turned Bitcoiner. A guy like Nick Bhatia, he's a professor at USC turned Bitcoiner. Like these are some of the guys that are really smart, that aren't they aren't very like speculating on something. They've done their research. They can explain their research to you. They break it down, and They can break it down better than I can. Better than a basketball player could. And so I like to learn from them, and I like to learn from the best. And so those are some of the best people, in my opinion. Obviously, Sailor is that dude. You can ask one question, and he'll talk. I'm talking like Sailor. This interview. Not like him, but I'm talking as much as he does. So
Well, I always like to create as many Michael Saylor moments on the Halving Report as possible, so that's great.
yeah,
Yeah, man. Okay, well, I think you gave me a lot to digest. You gave me some, some good sources there for my listeners and I to, continue and follow up and just learn from more eloquent people in this space. I want to open
yeah.
it up for you, Sean. If you have any questions, comments, or maybe words of wisdom. If not, just let us know where we can follow you and learn more.
What? Yeah, let me ask you, what's helped you on your path the most for understanding Bitcoin?
Yeah, I guess I got to say Twitter/X has been a completely great resource for me, just for connecting for people, reaching out to people like yourself, getting them on my podcast. So number one's probably just reaching out and talking to people like you face to face, like this, and just taking in as much as I can. But Yeah, also books. I really like one book that really stuck with me was The Seventh Property by Eric
Oh,
Yakes. I'm not
yeah,
sure if you're familiar, but
yeah.
I had him hit on the podcast a long time ago now. But I read his book, and it really I really like the breakdown of all the different monetary properties of what money has and the history of it, and it really helps me now kind of teach people about Bitcoin or refute points, criticisms of Bitcoin. It's kind of the one that always my mind goes back to a lot.
Hmm.
So yeah, mostly talking to folks like this, and then just getting those new resources and trying to see what this person says, see what this person says. I consume podcasts, I consume books, and obviously create content. And then Twitter is where a lot of the community and a lot of big figures in the space speak. So um, yeah,
Is your real last name Mines?
no, it's Minor, but my friends had always called me Mines or B
Uh-huh.
Mines, so
Uh-huh.
it just worked out. Brad Mines,
It's a
yeah,
great name in the Bitcoin world. That's for
for
sure.
sure. It's not quite as good as Dan Held, I don't think.
Yeah,
that
that is
that
true.
that guy's got a really good Bitcoin name.
Yeah, he does. You got a good
Uh,
one.
where can we follow you and learn more?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. That's where I'll be most of the time. At Big Sean Harris. Pretty simple. And give us a follow too over at the Having Party. So we're Having Party
Hmm.
MF. And go to our website, bitcoinhavingparty.com, and that's having as HALVING, like the Having Report. So
Hmm.
bitcoinhavingparty.com, and come get your tickets. Come to the Having Party. It's gonna be in El Salvador. If you haven't come and you want to come to El Salvador, this is when we have hundreds of other Bitcoiners coming from all over the world. This is your chance to come to El Salvador. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to celebrate the halving with other Bitcoiners in El Salvador. So come out and we'll be there. Thanks, Brad.
That's it, man. Get your tickets for the Having Party event. Come watch me hit some 3-pointers on Sean Harris on the courts. Thanks for
We'll
doing
see.
this tonight, Sean.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.